Marching on together, marching on together, marching on together, fans are called the BOLIYAN. Marching on together, fans are called the BOLIYAN. Allez. Hello and welcome to the Loco Leeds football channel with my official Facebook group partner Leeds Plus. It's Jinder Jade, and the Euros are upon us, my dear friends. I am back with another episode of the Fanview, and we are going to be looking at the Euro 2020 tournament, which was supposed to take place last year. It's taking place now, and it's starting tomorrow, Friday. I have got my good friend, you can see on the screen, Mike Green from his very own YouTube channel. I'll be putting his channel details in the description, so please check that out. But Mike, welcome to the Loco Leeds football channel. Welcome to the Fanview. And we're going to be doing a quick preview of the Euros. How you doing, mate?
Yeah, I'm doing fantastic. I've been waiting to come on here for a very, very long time, as you know. And I'm finally on here, so I'm absolutely buzzing to be on here. But yeah, I'm doing well, mate. I'm absolutely buzzing for the Euros. Obviously, Wales have got one less day to wait than England, but still, the Euros is the Euros. Everyone watches every single game. Obviously, it's not the World Cup. The World Cup is, the pinnacle, but this is still something special. I look forward to it every single tournament. Like you said, Euro 2020, but with obviously what went on, we have to play it in 21, but I don't care what year it's in, I'm buzzing.
That's it, Mike. It's an absolute pleasure to have you on because, really been watching your channel as well. And it's so good to see, the home nations and having representation of our home nations on YouTube as well. And especially yourself because, you don't support the big boys. You're a Newport City fan, and it's this is just great to have you on there. And like I said, you've got some inside knowledge on Wales. We're going to be looking at Wales. We're going to be looking at Scotland. We're going to be looking at England as well. But let's talk about the first game, which is going to be tomorrow, and it actually involves the Wales's group, doesn't it? And it's Italy versus Turkey. Your thoughts on this one? What do you think?
Well, this is quite a weird game for me because obviously, like you said, it's in our group. Whatever the result, if this is a draw, it'd be a brilliant result for Wales because, not to say Switzerland are a poor team, but I think we could beat Switzerland. So if this is a draw, we could be top of the group by the end of Group Day 1. But both of these teams, I really fancy to go deep in the tournament, and both of them are my two of my three dark horses, and they both play each other, which is unbelievable. I think Italy have an immense squad under Mancini. They've got some older players like Chiellini, Bonucci, but then they've got like Donnarumma, who's only 22 and he's so much experience for his young age. Barella in field, Jorginho from Chelsea, and Immobile up top as well. They have a really good team. And Turkey, they haven't got many superstars, but they work as a team. A bit like Leeds, actually, to be honest. They remind me of Leeds. They haven't got any really, main world-class players, but they're all very good, and they all work in the system together. I think this is going to be a cracking game. If you had to pick a game to kick off the tournament, I think this is the one because Turkey, they're in good form. They've got some good players, like I said, but they haven't got any amazing players. And then Italy are on a 27 unbeaten run at the moment under Mancini. They're flying, so it's a perfect way to start, hopefully, what is going to be a fantastic tournament.
Yeah, I mean, look, you've mentioned some top players there, and a nod to some of the to my great club Leeds United as well. So thanks for that, Mike. But it's Italy. You can never rule out, and they've just got that big tournament vibe about them. Anytime a big tournament does come around, they always seem to sort of get themselves into the quarters, don't they? At least they do, and they have failed it as well. But majority of the times in the last 40 years of football that I've seen, they're always there or thereabouts, aren't they? So you can never rule out Italy, and Turkey are going to be strong as well. But I'm really looking forward to the way Wales will look at this tournament, because the last time around, Wales were absolutely superb, and it was a joy to watch, wasn't it? Everything clicked. You know, the summer of 2016 was fantastic for every Welsh fan, and let's hope that they can do it and replicate it again. And you know, it'd be lovely to see all our home nations do really, really well. Scotland as well, who are in there as well, and England. Obviously, we're going to be talking about them as well because they play on Sunday, and Scotland play on Saturday. But speaking about Leeds United, we have got some representation in the Welsh squad. Tyler Roberts recently just signed a 4-year contract. I think it was yesterday that Tyler put pen to paper with us for another 4 years, which is good. Your thoughts quickly on Tyler Roberts, Mike, in the Welsh squad?
I'm going to be a bit controversial. I said it on Twitter the other day when I think it was when we played Albania. I said, "How is Tyler Roberts in the Welsh squad?" Because I know I like. The thing is with Tyler Roberts, I know what he's good at. He's good at, getting on the end of balls, balls being played in behind, he can race onto, but I just don't see what he offers this Welsh team. And I'm really sorry to any Leeds fans watching this right now that you're going to probably hate me and not subscribe. No, I do like what Tyler Roberts is. It's just I don't think if he's to play up front on his own, I just don't think it's going to work. We saw on Saturday against Albania. We played the first half with Tyler Roberts up front, took him off second half for Kiefer Moore. We looked a whole lot better, and it just epitomises, unfortunately, how Tyler Roberts doesn't get into the team. And then you look at some of the players that haven't made the Welsh team, and you're thinking, why isn't he not in there ahead of Tyler Roberts? Maybe a Hal Robson-Kanu. I know he's getting on a little bit, but we all know what he done to Belgium in that quarter-final in 2016, and he's got the big tournament experience, Hal Robson-Kanu, and I think a lot of Welsh fans maybe a bit, questioned why Roberts is in there, but he's in there now. So I can't, I'm not going to slate him. He's going to be, I'm going to back him throughout the tournament now, unless, he does something horrific. But I do like him as a player. I just don't think he suits our style of play, but I do like him. It's just, what we try and do is just not the Tyler Roberts style of play, so to speak.
That's an interesting take, Mike, and you're entitled to your opinion. And let's hope it works out for Roberts and he gets his groove on for this particular tournament. Tell me, guys, in the comments below your thoughts on Tyler Roberts, on the 4-year deal at Leeds United, and also how do you think he will be? How will he progress in this European Championships, and see how he moves on in this tournament. But remember, guys, to like and subscribe to the channel as well. So Tyler Roberts, we've talked about. You've got a superstar in Gareth Bale. I'm sure you've got some high hopes for him.
Well, when he came on Saturday against Albania in the friendly, I think I'm speaking on behalf of every single Welsh fan. When he came on, we was just wary, like, please do not get injured, because I'm not saying we are a one-man team, because we've got some quality players in the team, like Aaron Ramsey, Dan James as well, David Brooks, Harry Wilson. There's some very good players in there, but when you're talking of the main man, the talisman, you can't look no further than Gareth Bale. I mean, what he's done on the international stage for us, he carried us through that qualification group to qualify for Euro 2016. We started the first 2 games, a rubbish draw away at Andorra, a boring 0-0 draw against Azerbaijan, I think it was. And we were thinking, oh God, we're not even going to qualify here, because we were like bottom of the group. And then Bale came in for the 3rd game for the end of the campaign, and we went away to Belgium, got a point, beat them in Cardiff as well. And then he qualified for us for the Euros, and he done fantastic in the Euros. Obviously, England fans will remember that free kick, but we won't get into that too much. I bet England fans are glad it's not Joe Hart in goals for the Euros. But yeah, I mean, he's a fantastic player. A lot of you watching this probably know him from, well, not know him, will know him from watching him in the Premier League, and he's one of the best goal to game ratios in the Premier League. I don't know if you knew that. He's won in terms of goals per games or goals per minute in the Premier League. He's up there with one of the highest in terms of conversion rate. So he knows where the back of the net is. He can play off the shoulder of the last man. He can be the target man. He can play on the wing. He can go up top. He can even play as a cam sometimes. He's so versatile. And if we're to progress out of the group, which I think we will, not with relative ease, I think it'll be quite tricky. But if we are to qualify out of the group, he's going to be a massive part of it. And then if we're to go further, maybe last 16, quarterfinals, and then wherever from there, whatever we do in this European Championships will mainly be down to him, not solely down to him. He's not Bale FC, but pretty nearly is that, and it's nearly to the point where we rely on him.
Yeah. I mean, he's going to be very, very important, isn't he? Gareth Bale, he's a phenomenal player, super player, And look, I wish you all the best in your first game, Wales. When is the first game that Wales are going to be taking centre stage?
It's on Saturday at 2:00 against Switzerland.
Saturday, 2:00. We're going to definitely, fingers crossed, that Wales get a positive result for you, Mike. And, be interesting to see. So that moves me on. We've segued really nicely onto England, because England are going to be playing on Sunday. We're going to be playing Croatia. It's an interesting squad that Gareth Southgate has picked. And we've got a Leeds representation in Calvin Phillips. We've got a Newport and Leeds ex-representation in the form of Ben White. So Ben White was the last call-up. He was brought in as a replacement because Trent Alexander got injured, didn't he? So Gareth Southgate got in Ben White. So it's going to be interesting to see the dynamic, because there's Jordan Henderson, who's not fully fit. Harry Maguire's not fully fit. According to Roy Keane, Gareth Southgate's just taken Jordan Henderson to cheer the boys up, with some parties or, some singing or something like that. But it's going to be interesting, isn't it? I mean, I want for that, I would have liked to have seen Patrick Bamford with my Leeds hat on. I would have liked Patrick Bamford to be involved in the squad, maybe not at the Euros, but maybe in the preliminary squad. But he chose Ollie Watkins, and but I just think he should have brought in the fittest players available, because Jordan Henderson, he hasn't played for 3 months, and to bring him in to such a big world stage of a tournament like the Euros, it's going to be difficult for anybody. Mike, what are your thoughts on England's chances?
Obviously, with my I don't want England to win it because I'm Welsh, but personally, I think you'll get at least to the semi-finals. I think if you don't at least to them, a lot of England fans will be a bit frustrated, because they're saying this is the best team we've got for a long, long time. But I was looking at it the other day. If you win the group, you could potentially have Portugal, France, or Germany in the last 16, which is going to be quite sceptical. So I think a lot of England fans will be making sure they lose that game against Croatia and then beat Scotland and Czech Republic. But no, I think, like I said, I think you'll get semi-finals. But I want you to get like at least quarterfinals, because I don't want a whole nation getting embarrassed. Even though I am Welsh, I don't want you to get embarrassed and like get grouped or something like that. That's just not what I want. But I don't want you to get any further than the quarterfinals. But I think you'll get to the semis.
Yeah, well, it's interesting. Look, I think if we can play, I just want some attacking football, some football that you can be proud of. With the players that we've got at our disposal, the way everything works out. I mean, look, this group, Scotland, it's always going to be tricky. They're a home nation. It's going to be hard. Croatia, they know pushovers. And Czech Republic are a very plucky team as well. They have been in the past as well. But we expect to get out of the group stage, definitely. And Mike, semi-finals, final, ideally, I want to win it.
Yeah, obviously.
But it's going to be difficult. It's going to be difficult, and I just want a little bit of attacking flair, a little bit of attacking, some sort of, I don't want five people at the back. It's maybe because I'm a Leeds fan. Maybe Marcelo Bielsa has really sort of got us used to a certain type of football, and our players play that high octane, high intensity football, and we're just used to that kind of football. But what I'm saying is that the best form to win a game is to attack the game. You can't win a game if you're not going to attack. You have to do that. And you have to take a chance. You have to take a gamble. You can't be conservative all the time. And you can't play five at the back in this international game. Because if you look at it, you've got the kings of defence in Italy. They play the game of defending really, really well. Our strength as an England, from an England perspective, is not to be a defensive approach. We have to go at it because that's the way we play our football. If we play high intensity, the Premier League style of football is high press, high intensity. You look at all the teams like Liverpool, Manchester City, all the way Premier League football, the way British football, English football is about attacking, and let's just play and get in amongst the people. And that's the way we need to do it. And sometimes I just feel that England and certain games, the lead up to the England to this tournament is that we're playing too defensive, and that defensive approach may be our downfall towards the latter part of the tournament if we get to that semi-final or quarter-final. So I just think we need to get a bit more attacking. But I do echo the sentiments that you've said. We've got a wonderful squad. We've got some lovely players, the likes of Harry Kane, Raheem Sterling, Calvin Phillips has got called up. You've got Declan Rice in there. We really are blessed with some super players, and this is a good chance. Marcus Rashford, another one. These are good players, and this is the kind of tournament they can excel in. So it's Croatia. That's our first one. Any thoughts on Croatia, Mike? Do you reckon England needs to worry about Croatia at all?
Well, I mentioned earlier. I don't know if you noticed that, but I said Turkey and Italy are two of my three dark horses. So there's one left, and that third one is Croatia. I think Croatia could definitely, they got to the final of the World Cup, coming against some very good teams. Obviously, England as well in the semi-finals, but they knocked out Russia, who played really well in that tournament. They come through. They topped the group with Argentina in it as well in the World Cup. They're a very good team, Croatia, well drilled. They've got a very good system, and the patterns of play they use works perfectly really into their system. And I think if Croatia to win a major tournament, this is the one, because in the World Cup, Modric is going to be 37, 38.
Yeah.
A lot of players are going to be older. Mandzukic. I don't think Mandzukic is still in the team, but a lot of the older players like Perisic, Modric, like I said, there's not many sort of quality Croatians coming through the Croatia team. So if they are to win one, it's going to be now, because like I said, Modric is probably his last major tournament unless he makes the World Cup in Qatar. But this is the one.
Because Modric is 35 now, and just touching upon Mandzukic isn't in the squad, but he's a phenomenal player. Modric, he's a really good player. But they've also got I'm just looking at their squad. Dejan Lovren. So these are players that are familiar with some of our Premier League fans. There is a representation of that. Modric obviously used to play for Tottenham. Lovren used to play for Liverpool, or is he still at Liverpool, isn't he?
Who is that?
Lovren.
No,
Lovren.
He's in Zenit, I think. He's
Zenit, yeah. Well, yeah. So but they've got some really good players, the ones that you've just mentioned. It is going to be it is going to be a difficult task. And like I said, if we go all pragmatic against Croatia, it's going to be difficult. You know, I'm looking if we can get a draw out of this game, England Croatia, and then you know we can look at Scotland, maybe getting 3 points from there. You know.
Yeah, I've said this to quite a lot of English fans when talking about the Euros, and like I said, this is not based off a Welsh point of view. This is just based off a point of view. I'm so worried as for England fans that Southgate is going to go with a back five and then 2 holding midfielders in front of that. Because if you think of that, that's 8 players. You know, obviously including the goalkeeper, that's 8 players already, and then you've only got room for 3 attackers or 3 attacking-minded players. And if you do go with a back five, you know, expect Trippier to be in there, Walker to be in there, Maguire, Stones, and then they're not. Apart from maybe Walker, there's no real rapid defender in there, so they can't exactly push that far forward because they're just going to leave themselves open at the back. Really, if I was Southgate, I would go with a 4 back. And to be honest with you, unlike previous tournaments where England sort of said, you know, we're not the best of teams, we're very good, but we're not, you know, one of the top 5. We'll sort of sit back a little bit, and then against like the smaller teams, if you like, will attack more. But I think England, apart from France, maybe Portugal, trying to think of some others, Belgium maybe, I think England are one of the best 3 or 4, third or fourth team in the tournament. Because it's not a World Cup. They haven't got the likes of Argentina, Brazil, India, you know, it's Europe. And I think England are the 3rd, if not 2nd best team in Europe at the moment. So why don't England do what France do? I mean, France and Portugal at the moment, I think they're the best 2 European teams at the moment. They just go and blow teams away with the quality that Portugal have with Fernandes, Ronaldo, Felix, Jota, and then France with Griezmann, Mbappe, Giroud, Pogba, Kante and stuff like that. Those 2 teams go out the block, say, look, right, if we go 2-3-0 up within the first 60 minutes, the game's done, take off our main players, finished. Where England is more like, you know, we've got to still be careful at the back. We not push too many forward. Why don't England just go, right, you know, no disrespect to Croatia, Scotland or Czech Republic, we're better than all 3 of these. Let's go all guns blazing in each game, go 2-0 up, 2-1 up, you know, with 20 minutes to go or something, and then take off a couple of key players and get comfortably into the next round and just do that because, well, what have they got to lose, really? I mean, yes, you know, it's technically a home tournament for England, isn't it? Because the semi-final,
absolutely, yeah,
both at Wembley. So it's not in a sense where the whole tournament's in England, but essentially, you know, if you win it, you're winning it in front of your fans. So I've always said it about England, though. I've said it over the last couple of years since the World Cup. I said the thing that will always alter England and England will never win a major tournament unless they change this, is changing their approach to games. They're always the ones defending against the teams rather than the ones pushing forward. Like, I mean, I watched your game against Romania. I think it was Romania, the second one, and Romania were all over you in large parts of that. They deserved much more than a 1-0 defeat. But it's that thing where England are, you know, getting just over the line, and when you put teams in that group like Czech Republic and a team like Scotland, those type of teams will do what Romania done. They'll know what England fail at, and that's bringing the ball out from the back. So they'll press you high up the pitch, get the ball off you, and then with Maguire's lack of pace at the back, if he's fit, of course, then they easily put pressure on him. And I don't know who your main goalkeeper is. I think it might be Pickford because of his World Cup experience. Yeah. He's not the best of his feet either, but England have to attack teams rather than sort of say, come on, attack us and then we'll hit you on the break.
Yeah, I mean, Mike, you've said some really good things there and some few home truths as well. You know, the lead up to the tournament, the friendlies that we played. See, this is the thing. Gareth Southgate played players that, you know, they're not really featured in the tournament. So it's really hard to judge. I watched the Austria game as well, and you know it was difficult, and we were lucky to get something out of that game. Just to tell you that now, you know we won, but the thing was, you know, certain times Austria were they look really good. And this is the thing, you see, when you're playing against these top nations, European nations, you've got to be 110% switched on at all times. You can't be lackadaisical in one way or the other. Your passing has to be spot on. Your game plan has to be spot on. Your set pieces have to be spot on. Everything has to have had meticulous planning in place, because this is international football, and anything can happen in football. Anyways, football is such a unpredictable game on a regular basis, but in international football, anything can happen. Greece won the European Championships many years ago. Denmark won it. So this is unpredictable. Another home nation that I'm going to talk to you about is Scotland. Let's move away from England just for a touch. Mike, thank you for your thoughts on England. But Scotland, let's talk about Scotland. They're also in this group that England are in. And we have got Liam Cooper, our club captain, in the Scottish squad. And I'm sure he'll be in the first 11 of the Scottish team. And it's interesting because they are going to be playing Czech Republic as their first game. Am I correct, Mike? Monday. And their match is on Monday, isn't it?
Yeah, Monday. Yeah,
Monday. So their first fixture is against Czech Republic. Now Scotland, it's interesting because I think when they come into these kind of tournaments, they do tend to struggle, and it's going to be an interesting way of how they approach the Euros. I don't know a great deal of how Scotland have been faring, because I know they got in through to this tournament through a playoff, and it was a penalty shootout, a bit of a nerve-wracking penalty shootout, but Scotland done well and they've got here. How do you think they will approach the Euros?
I think if I was, the Scottish manager, I think it's Steve Clarke. If I was him, I would. No, it's hard to say, because I think Scotland are, like I said, no offense to this, but I think Scotland are the worst of the four in terms of this group. Because when you look at Czech Republic, you said it earlier in the show, Czech Republic are always a tricky team to play against. They're so well drilled. But Scotland, they're going to have to just accept that they're not going to have a lot of the ball in these games. But the one problem they got, their best two players are both left backs. So I don't know what they're going to do there with Tierney and Robertson. I think Tierney does go into the left centre back of a back three with Robertson as the wing back. So and Tierney can play that position well. But the player I'm going to watch out for in this Scotland team is actually none of them. The one I'm going to be looking out for is John McGinn. Going to be absolutely fantastic for Scotland in this tournament. I've got him in my fantasy team. I think he's a quality player, John McGinn. He was linked to Man United either last season or the season before for like 40 million. He's a player who's got ability on the ball. But another player is Ryan Fraser as well. I think he's had a little bit of a, he's been so targeted by Newcastle fans this season, saying he's not been that good. But every time I've watched Ryan Fraser for Newcastle, he's been quite well, and for Scotland. But I think they're a decent team. But like I said to you, no disrespect, they probably are the fourth best team in the group. But they've got to go against Czech Republic on Monday. Sorry, they've got to go to that game on Monday, because they'll know the England-Croatia result. So if that's a draw, then they'll be thinking, right, if we can get some sort of positive result, we're still in this group, even if it is a draw. But I think if England or Croatia win and they lose, I think it's going to be a long way back, because then they've got England at Wembley on the Friday, so it's going to be a long way back for Scotland. So if Scotland are to get out of this group, they have to beat Czech Republic. It's a must-win.
It is, and I mean, look, it's going to be difficult for them. They are the underdogs in that group, and maybe that might suit them. And John McGinn, you've said, he's got a great engine on him, and that's interesting. I was just looking at the squad. They've got Shea Adams up front as well, and but that's about it really. Striker wise, they need firepower. I just don't know where the goals are going to be coming from. That's what I feel for Scotland. What you've just said with Tierney and Robertson, fantastic players. Robertson's been really good for Liverpool the last couple of years. Tierney's solid as well. But I just think they're going to miss out on the attacking part. I just don't see the goals coming from them. There's no threat.
Yeah, I think with a lot of teams, I've said this again to a lot of people. A lot of teams in this European Championship have that one player, like England have Harry Kane, Belgium have Lukaku, Italy have Immobile, a lot of Wales have Bale. A lot of teams have that one man that you can say, right, if it all goes sort of crap, we've got that one player to rely on. But I don't really think, Scotland do. It's just he plays in midfield or defence. So they haven't, like you said, in that final third. Che Adams, I mean, he's a good player, but is he enough to sort of carry Scotland out of the group in terms of the attacking threat? I don't think he is. So Scotland are going to have to hope for set pieces. I mean, Robertson's got a hell of a left foot. If they get, I think they're going to hope to get free kicks, corners, penalties maybe, but then again, penalties, who's going to take them? But I think their goals will come from the midfield and from defence, from set pieces. Because Che Adams up top, he's not the best. Ryan Fraser as well, maybe. But like you said, it's you're clutching at straws, really, aren't you? In that Scotland team to sort of get creativity from. I think McGinn is going to be, if McGinn was to get injured or something like that, or McGinn's not firing in this tournament, Scotland could really struggle.
Well, look, with all that, let's hope our home nations do really, really well. First set of fixtures, let's hope they all make really good starts. Wales, England, Scotland, let's hope they do a good start to the tournament, and then we can just build upon each result as the tournament progresses. Just want to say that we also, Leeds, from a Leeds point of view, we've got a couple of players that are in we've got a couple of players in the Spanish squad now. Well, we did, but Llorente, he tested positive for COVID-19. So I don't know what the protocol is, whether he comes back to us or whether he returns back to the squad. I don't know whether that's happening. Rodrigo wasn't picked for the Spanish squad, but I think he's been drafted in as a standby for anybody who, if they have a COVID-19 breakout. So that's going to be interesting. We've got Robin Koch representing in the Germany team, Matthias Klich in the Poland team, and also Alioski in the Macedonia team. So, good luck to the Leeds United players as well, as long as they don't play England or Wales or Scotland or whatever. But, it'd be, let's hope they have a good tournament. They return back ready to come into the Premier League for a second season with Leeds United. And I just want to say, Mike, I'm conscious about the time as well. Who do you think, apart from our home nations, if anybody was going to win, can you predict a winner for this tournament?
The winner is coming from two teams, I think, and I've put these two teams in my tournament prediction to make the final. My final prediction is Portugal versus France. I think they're the best two teams in the tournament. I think they've got the squad depth from both of those teams is just unreal. In terms of the final, I absolutely love France. I've always liked France for years and years, so I'm going to have to say France again. And I said it in 2016. I said France will dominate the world for the next 10, 15 years. Obviously, they lost that final to Portugal, and everyone was saying, "Oh, you said they were going to dominate," and then they won the World Cup in 2018. Hopefully, 2021 they add the little tick for a European Championship that they win.
Well, that's interesting. I mean, I think if England don't do it, I'd like to see Italy. I'd like to see Italy win it as well. And we've got an Italian owner, so for me and Radrizzani together, after obviously England first, but then if something happens and then we get knocked out, and Italy are still in it, I'd like to see Italy. But Mike, can you tell our subscribers here at the Loco Leeds Football Channel where they can find you on YouTube? Give us your details, mate. And tell everybody your content, because it's interesting, isn't it? Because you don't get much lower league content on YouTube. Everybody focuses on the big boys, but you've got a very interesting team. Tell the stage is yours to share, mate.
Basically, my YouTube channel is Mike Green. Obviously, it says Mike there, but it's Mike Green on YouTube. Newport County content creator, doing Newport County transfer news whenever we release a sign-in. I make a video on it, or if we sell someone, I make a video on that. I will be doing a lot of Euro content, Euro 2020 content. I'm going to do a stream for every single game, a watch on for every single game. So if you want to join me for that, more than welcome to.
Do.
And yeah, basically just obviously football, sort of club football at the moment. But obviously during the Euros, if we do sign players, I will be doing videos on that. But after the Euros, it's full League 2 season from next season with previews, vlogs, and reactions and stuff like that. But yeah, cheers for getting me on.
No worries, Mike. Absolute pleasure getting you on here, and thank you for giving us your time and your expertise on the Euros as well. Some of the stuff even I didn't know that you knew. So big up for that, mate. Thank you, and I wish you all the best with the YouTube. And I'll definitely come on your channel as well, give you a bit of support during the Euros as well. So, guys, there's Mike. Check his channel out. Absolutely fantastic content creator. And with that, I'm going to say a massive thank you to each and every one of you guys for joining me on this episode of the Fanview. It was a Euro 2020 preview. Guys, if you can, make sure to like and share this video. Also, if you can also check out the countdowns that I'm doing, the top 5 Leeds United countdown. There's a new video, weekly video that I'm trying to do for you. Please check out those little top 5 countdowns as well. But from myself and from Mike, I'm going to leave the stream just there. Thanks for watching. All the best.